What's up, what's up, what's up? I can't sing, but I'm welcoming you back to my channel. I know it's been a little bit. I've been more consistent. I'm just saying, could do better. I mean, we could all do better, but I'm pretty proud of myself. So let's talk about something. This video is, as you may see from the bottom, how I kind of got into the hippy dippy lifestyle. And that's what I call it. I don't know if other people call it that, but like that's what I do, so whatever. I know that for a lot of people, getting into the world of meditations and affirmations and spirituality and crystals and connecting with yourself and one and namaste and heart center, doing all of those things can either seem really daunting or it can seem kind of silly, but you want to get into it because you know it's going to help you, but mine's all over the place. I'm here to share with you my journey on how I personally got into it, which will hopefully help open your eyes to how you can get into it. Which also leads me to the fact that I have a little freebie for anybody that wants it. You can click the link below. It's basically a 10-day series of videos. It's free, where I share about everything from meditation, affirmation, crystals and chakras, personal development books, obstacles that you're probably gonna run into when you get into this stuff, and the power of your mind, and also how to have a morning routine, if I didn't already say that. But anyway, it just shows up in your email. You get to kind of watch all of them and take it at your own pace, but it's important to make sure that you take action. So let's get into it. I wanna just really share with you from day one up until where I am now, how I got into this whole spiritual world of all of this stuff. Starting from the beginning, I used to be just really negative. I wasn't always negative necessarily growing up, but after going through an emotionally abusive relationship and homelessness and all of the crazy stuff, if you don't know my story, I will link that below if you haven't seen that. But I just used to be really negative. I would make fun of people that did this kind of stuff because I just didn't know. I had no self-love, did not have a morning routine or any kind of routine for that matter. And I didn't really think it would help. I was like, okay, if I just like know I should do these things and just like be a nicer person, say I'm thankful for things occasionally, like it'll definitely help. But once I realized, like little by little, okay, maybe this stuff will really help me if I have more of a routine, if it's more of a habit versus an every now and again thing. So I started little by little, and that's my first tip for you, is just start little by little. So how I started taking baby steps was that, number one, it all started with personal development. As you cannot see because the camera's there, but I have a bookshelf here. Oh God. Oh my God, I almost broke this. I have a bookshelf full of books. I have read all of these. They have helped me tremendously. I'm just showing you some so you don't think I'm making it up. Gosh, they've changed my life. I love listening to podcasts and books, and I have, you know, Audible and iTunes and whatever. Like I just started listening and reading, and I wasn't the kind of person that really liked to read anyway. I really just started with like 5 to 10 minutes a day. And then instead of listening to music all the time in the car, I would listen to like 30 minutes of a book instead. And then I would listen to music. Now I listen to personal development while I'm cooking, while I'm meal prepping, while I'm making breakfast, while I'm taking a shower, while I'm doing my makeup. I try to find time for it. So really just started with personal development because reading it opened my mind to this world that I didn't even know existed. Or I learned kind of how to change my thinking and turn it on its head. I was like, wow, okay, this stuff totally works. And then I would read books like Raise Your Vibrations by Kyle Gray, which was amazing. I got this little book, which I really recommend, Meditations for Women Who Do Too Much. Such a great book. The Universe Has Your Back, Mastering Your Mean Girl, Women, Food, and God. There's just so many amazing books, but I started with personal development. Then I started watching some YouTube videos. If I heard about a thing like meditations, affirmations, crystals, I would just go to YouTube and I would search it, and I would watch a few different people and see how they were talking about it, and just start popping these things into my head so I was more familiar with it. Not that I was an expert on it, but I just kind of understood everything a little bit more, which made me more interested in it. Specifically looking for either videos or books based off the things that I wanted to learn, I just focused on informing myself. So I started by little, reading personal development, and then I just really started to focus on informing myself on the different specific things that I wanted to learn. Next step I took was I started surrounding myself with people that were like how I wanted to be. People who were more into the holistic lifestyle, people that were, you know, into meditation and yoga, following a lot of Instagram people that were really into the spiritual realm, any authors that I liked. I really just tried to immerse myself and surround myself not only with the content from books, but from people that were doing the things that I wanted to do, but I just wasn't there quite yet. Then the next step I took was attending IIN. And IIN really, I think, changed a lot for me. For those who don't know, IIN is the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I have my holistic health certification from there. You can too. It's your program, it's all online, and you basically learn like everything you need to know about holistic nutrition. Whether you just use the information for yourself or you actually use it to become a coach and open your own business, you can do that. And I am a part of, if you want more information on IIN, if you want to hear more about my experience, if you want to ask me questions about it, or if you're interested in checking out the school, please let me know. I would love to give your information to them, which refers you to them, so they know that you're interested and they know that I said, hey, this person would be an amazing coach, because they don't just like accept anyone. It's kind of like a little bit of an interview process that you don't really realize until you're kind of in it. So, but if you want more information on it, it's just, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And the fact that I really started to, again, open my eyes even more, and that's why this stuff was so little by little. It opened my eyes more to like the nutrition side of things. Before, it was just really the mindset, but I really started to learn about how home cooked meal that you take time to prepare with love is gonna fulfill you more and make you more full than the meal that you're like running out the door that's half cold and you're eating out of a Tupperware container. It doesn't mean that you can't do that, but understanding that, I was like, wow, like that makes so much sense. So they teach a lot of that stuff, the energetic side of food, and they don't say, you know, you have to go vegan or you have to do this, you have to do that. They teach you every different kind of diet, which is really nice. They're not biased at all. So when it opened my mind to like the holistic nutrition side of things, that's when I really, you know, wanted to learn more about the holistic side of just everything, about life, how you handle, you know, your work and your career and relationships and everything like that. Once I found something that I liked or that I was interested in, whether it was a new crystal or a new essential oil or a new way to get rid of headaches, I was like, okay, let me learn a little bit about that. And most people aren't going out there and being a student and learning more. And when I say being a student, I don't mean like I'm downloading a 75-page article that's written on the benefits of rose essential oil. I'm literally going on YouTube, watching some videos and reading some articles. I don't just read one source, it's important to read a few, but just getting little tidbits of information, not having to become an expert. Of course, if there's something that you want to become an expert on, I highly recommend it. It's always good to learn a lot about something. Really just try to dig a little bit deeper into the things that excited me. Affirmations were really big for me, so I learned a lot more about them. And I still do that today. If there's something I hear or come across, I'm like, how can I learn more about this? How can I use this to help benefit me and benefit my clients? I also realized that I wanted to feel more positive and I wanted to feel better. I was tired of letting depression and anxiety and negativity into my life. I was tired of letting it run my life. And I was over the whole idea of, I'm just grumpy, just leave me alone, I hate people. I just knew that it was funny occasionally, but most of the time when you're just alone with your thoughts, that stuff kind of got old and I wanted to feel good. Doesn't mean that I don't have negative thoughts, and it doesn't mean that I don't want to kill people when I'm driving sometimes and just strangle them because they don't know how to drive. But for the most part, I am in such a better mood and I feel better. I feel more positive, and it's having a great effect on so many other things in my life, my relationships, my career, and just my life in general. Because we spend most of the time by ourselves with our own thoughts, I want them to be a lot more positive. I also read the book 10% Happier, and I think that that was another book that kind of got me more into like the meditation side of things, because I started this whole journey back in 2013, but I really didn't get into meditations until the past 2 years. And I recommend getting the audiobook because he narrates it and he's really funny and I just love listening to him. He was a newscaster that had a panic attack on live television. You can go look it up on YouTube. And he talks about how he dealt with anxiety and depression and how he used meditation to get out of that. And it's such a real and raw story, and he connects with you on a friend level that to me, it was like, okay, this makes meditation sound cool. And it made me kind of want to dig more deeper into it. Then I stumbled on stuff about affirmations, and then I stumbled on stuff about visualizations and how you can visualize you meeting yourself in 5 years and asking yourself questions and kind of hear what your future self says. Those kinds of things were like, that's like seems super hippy dippy, but I was like, this is so cool. So I would try them. You could literally go on YouTube and search guided meditation, visualization, meet future self. There are tons of meditations for that. I do that meditation at least once a week because I feel like it's super powerful in me imagining what my life is gonna look like and then moving myself in that direction. Then when it comes to my morning routine, the reason I got into that was because, okay, I was like, okay, I learned about, meditations, and I learned about visualizations, and I learned about affirmations and personal development and all of these things. But like, how am I gonna keep this as a habit. Like, how am I gonna make sure I'm doing all of these things? And I realized a morning routine was necessary. Once I, figured that out, and I realized, I had my morning routine of, I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth, I splash my face with water, I drink hot water with lemon, do a bunch of those things. But my morning routine in terms of like my spiritual hippy dippy morning routine was to go into my room. I had my coffee with me, take out my journal, and I journal. If you're not comfortable with writing on like a blank piece of paper, you're not good at journaling, which I wasn't before, and I'm still not the greatest at it. I recommend starting with the book, The 5-Minute Journal. That really kind of launched me into, again, one of the little steps that launched me into getting more into this, because it just helps you write down 3 things you're grateful for, write down 3 things you're excited about, and write about 3 great things that happened the day before. And writing a daily affirmation is just so powerful. It kind of helped me be able to do things on my own. So now I have a blank notebook that every day I wake up, I write the date, and I write a little bit about my day before, kind of how I'm feeling about the day ahead, and then 3 things that I'm grateful for. When you start practicing gratitude, that changes the game. If you leave this video with learning anything, that's definitely one of them. So my morning routine has just been really amazing. It starts with a gratitude journal, and then it's meditations, affirmations, visualizations, reading personal development, reading about crystals. And that's kind of, what I do. And it just helps everything kind of stick. So if you want to get into the hippy dippy, start small and then have a morning routine. And it's not something that I'm kind of saving you some time by talking about my entire journey, and you can kind of, practice all of these things right away instead of having to discover all of these things on your own. But still remember that this stuff takes time. It's baby steps. You're going to get there. You just have to take those baby steps. Most people say, I don't know where to start. You don't just read one book and it tells you all about it. You learn as you go. If there was a book that you could just read and it was like, okay, these are all the steps you need to take to become a crunchy spiritual person, or whatever you want to call it. There's no necessarily negative connotations to it. Or maybe I should write a book on it. Would you read it? I don't know. I've always thought about writing a book. It's not gonna be this just one thing that makes you all of a sudden become this beautiful elfish fairy that walks around and knows everything about meditations and crystals and everything like that. It's baby steps. But the more you do it, the more you learn, and the more you're a student and you're actively reading a book, reading an article, or watching a YouTube video about the topics that you want to learn about, you will wake up a year, 2 years later and be like, holy crap, like how did I even get here? Because that's how I feel some days. I'm like, oh wow, like I know all of these things now, and I'm still learning every single day. But it felt like just yesterday, all of this stuff was super silly to me. I hope that was helpful. I'm working on a pretty funny video coming up, and it has to do with Pat. If there's any boyfriend tags that you would want to see, let me know. So that's pretty much it. I hope if you took one thing from this, if there's something new that you learned that you never really thought about, I'd love for you to comment below and let me know what you thought. Check out all the links below if you have any questions. I'm sure there's something there that's gonna help you, and I will see you soon. Peace out.